Hi there, Steve here again. I'm here with a little do-it-yourself video to give back to the YouTube community of all things with great information. I have a 2001 Chev Tahoe with leaking front differential axle tube seals, and I wanted to change them. So I started taking things apart, and there's another video I'm going to reference, by the way. If you look in my comments for this video, you're going to see how to find another guy's video who he did the same job in a 2003 vehicle, and his video was excellent as far as getting the thing apart, but he didn't talk about how to get it put back together. His video went black, and anyway, my video is going to pick up where his left off. So please reference his video, give him good feedback or comments, and he's a really knowledgeable guy and knows his stuff, and has other videos that contribute to the knowledge on the internet as well. So good for him. Okay, so I tried to take the axle tube out, and the axle out of the axle tube while it was still on the truck. And the way I did that was I unbolted the CV drive shaft from the flange on the end of the axle tube and swung the CV drive shaft out of the way, and couldn't get that slide hammer in place that I needed. And so what I did was I had to actually take out the shaft, the CV shaft, which is a real pain in the neck, and the reason why is because the CV shaft was in the way of where this slide for the slide hammer would have to go. So I took the shaft out, and I had to goof around with supporting the frame of the vehicle and then putting a jack under the bottom of this hub here to kind of get it at the right height and align it. And to get the shaft out, the CV shaft out, I used a 36mm deep socket. And it wasn't in there too bad, actually. The nut wasn't on too bad. I was surprised. I think it's like an oblong lock nut. And anyway, so I took that nut off, got the shaft out, then I could get my slide hammer in there. Problem was, the hammer part, which is that slides on this slide hammer, it needs to bang up against this little ball right here to actually cause the impact to drive the hammer, pull the thing away. Problem is, this shaft for the slide hammer is so long that the bulb was right about there. Well, the slide hammer can't go past the drum or the hub, so it wouldn't have done anything to bang on that. So what I did was I cut a piece of pipe off that's the right length, that's like 10 inches or whatever, and it kind of slides over the slide hammer shaft like that and butts up against that bulb. And I borrowed this tool and wanted to take good care of it, so I actually beveled the inside of that pipe. You can't see from this video, but it fits up there, quite snugly and won't damage that ball at all. And now my slide hammer banged against this pipe, the hammer part. So I pulled the tube out and got the tube out. Got it on my bench, checked it out. Yep, seal is leaking in the axle tube, so I pried the seal out of the axle tube and put a new seal in, and I know they say you don't really need to, but I put just a very thin skim of silicone on the inside of the tube, and then drove the seal in, and I don't know, I always feel better about doing that. And then I went to put the axle shaft back in, and it would go in all but about 1.5 inches. So that's when I realized something else was in the way inside, and the other gentleman's video talks about how to get to where we are right now with the stuff disassembled, the gears out of it, and I want to show you how to put it back in, because it's very, obviously it's crucial that things go in the right way, and it's pretty easy to mix up a couple of the parts here. So first things first, I got the axle tube off as per the other guy's instructions, stuck my flange and axle shaft back up into the tube, and there we are right at this point now. Oh, and I greased the new seal, by the way, the outside lip of it. So there we are right there. So this washer right here goes over, and you can see it fits in it's got a tab on it, and it fits in a groove right there. Now there's a wear mark on mine. The clean, non-worn mark, or non-worn side, goes towards the tube, and the worn surface, I don't know if you can see it or not, the worn edge goes towards the sky. In this case, it would be towards the differential. So I'll drop that guy in there. There he is. Okay. The next thing is this crazy mechanism right here. Now this is what you do not want to mess up. Okay, see that little ball-y thing right in the center of the video? That's the plunger to put the front differential in and out of four-wheel drive. So that obviously goes down that hole right there, which is where your electric motor is. So I'm going to just spin this around for a sec. Okay, so now my plunger thing's there. And see this gear? The thin side of the gear goes towards the tube. The fat side goes towards the differential. Okay? Thin side towards the tube, fat side towards the differential. Now also, look at this. There's a gear inside of this guy. Okay? The side with the smooth ring around it, where the teeth kind of don't go right to the edge, that goes towards the tube, the axle tube. The side with the teeth, that goes towards the differential. So in case this all falls out in the floor, you'll know how to put this back together again. Alright, there's one other thing I want to tell you before we get too far. I don't know if you can see it inside of there, but see that inside the gear there's kind of a ring? Well, there's a snap ring in there. There we go. There's a snap ring in there. That snap ring engages with this groove right here. So when you put this gear on, it'll probably snap. Like, you know, when you put the gear on, it might be resistant for a minute and then poof, drop into place. Once you get those things on, the next thing you're going to put on is this washer, and it'll be on top of here. Remember the gear and shift fork and all that stuff's going to be right here. So that big washer is going to be right here, and there doesn't seem to be any difference between either side, but I think you're probably okay putting that washer on any way you want. And then this spring goes on the end of here. Well, I'm not going to do it, but there, goes on like that. Okay? Then, and I've cleaned this surface off right here, and I read somewhere that people use a special kind of sealant because the synthetic gear oil will eat through the regular sealant. GM recommends the regular stuff, and that's what I happen to have. And I don't intend to put synthetic oil in the front of this anyway because it's not recommended. So I'm going to go with regular black RTV or Permatex black RTV gasket maker, and it's good for 230 degrees Celsius, which I doubt the front differential would ever get that hot. If it does, I probably got something else going on. So good luck. I hope that helps you. And the other thing too, the really important thing that I did not do is I didn't clean the junk off the top surfaces right here when it's installed. I didn't clean the crud off of this interface right here, and when I pulled this axle tube away, a bunch of dirt fell down, and the two surfaces between the differential and the axle tube are horizontal, are vertical, so most of the dirt just fell to the floor, but I'm going to have to go in there carefully with a rag and get any extra dirt out. So what I'd recommend you do is take a cloth, reach up and around, and clean that dirt off really well. And and the other thing too that I'll mention is the cable for the shift motor. It's attached in two places to this tube. Disconnect those cable attachment spots before you actually loosen all the tube things, because I had all my bolts free, went to pull the tube away, and then I realized the cable was still connected to it, and it kind of just made a real nuisance. So I think that's all I have to report on this. Let me just take one last look in there to see if there's anything exciting I need to tell you. Yeah, there's another gear that's still in the differential. I'm going to kind of leave it there. I'll check, but I don't think I need to do anything with that. I think that's probably okay just the way it is. Okay, thanks, bye.